I'm Eric Marasco.
And I'm Susie Marasco, and we are the chairs of the 2021 United Way campaign.
We actually both lived in the Philadelphia area. Susie went for school, I went for work. We had our son Leo. We wanted him to grow up like we did in Bradford with our family. We thought that that was really important for him to experience that.
Coming back to a smaller community really let us appreciate what we have here. And we use a funded agency, Growing with Grace, for our childcare for Leo. And that's really such an asset for our community. Being a young family will allow us to streamline some modern ways for fundraising. You might not be able to give as much as you think you should, but even small donations really add up.
This year we chose the tagline, Believe in Tomorrow. And the reason we chose that is because of everything that's happening around the world. Despite the challenges globally and in our local community, we're optimistic that we can reach our goals with your support.
Now more than ever, we need our community members to believe in tomorrow by pledging today.
I'm Laureen Rounsville. I'm the director at Hamlin Memorial Library in Smethport. We serve about 5,500 people. We have about 2,500 patrons and over 30,000 items in our collection. I actually started 23 years ago. I enjoy helping people. We love putting things in people's hands that they might not have come across themselves. We use the United Way money to fund our summer reading program, which means buying craft items, t-shirts, prizes for the kids. This year we bought books instead to pass out. We also do family nights once a month during the year, and our most popular one is Make a Plate Night, where we usually get 60 people, unique artwork, and they're thrilled with it. Because we're in an area where there's not as much to offer as far as family programming and family events, I think it's nice that we have something that people can come to. We very seldom charge anything, but I think it's nice to have things that the families can do together that promotes the library as some place to go that isn't just for books. Financially, we're all struggling, particularly this year. We would not be able to have our children's and family programs without the United Way.
My name is Captain David Means Jr. from the Bradford Salvation Army. The Salvation Army has been in this community for well over 100 years, as well as all of McKean County. My wife and I just moved to Bradford about 3.5 years ago. One of the first conversations I had was with the United Way director, and the first thing that came up was people needing help with utilities. And so we began the process of putting an application, and the United Way came alongside of us and gave us a grant. And so now we've been 3 years that we've been providing utility assistance, and every year the United Way has been generous and has increased that amount. And every year we spend that without any trouble whatsoever. And so now with the current outbreak, a lot of people that are out of work or hours reduced, there's a lot of people within our county that would be receiving termination notices for their electric and their gas and their water. A lot of people, they know someone who's in need. Maybe they don't realize it, but a coworker who's sitting right next to them may come to the Salvation Army needing help with their gas bill. It's a need that we wouldn't be able to help with if it wasn't for the United Way.
So the YWCA provides crisis services to McKean County. We have a mental health and developmental disabilities service program. We also have a domestic violence and sexual assault program. That's our Victims Resource Center. We have a 24-hour hotline. That hotline is answered every single day of the year for 24 hours every day. And we have a domestic violence shelter. We have legal and medical advocacy and accompaniment that goes along with that. Our homeless shelter is a 22-bed facility, and we are always full with a wait list. We have single dads, single moms. We have nuclear families. COVID has certainly expanded the need for shelter services, and so we also provide within that street outreach services. We have a staff person who goes out throughout the county identifying people who are literally on the street homeless, whether they just slept in their car or slept on a park bench. The United Way funds our Victims Resource Center and our Housing and Employment Services. So there are many federal or state dollars that require a matching component. So for our Housing and Employment Services, that matches 100%. So whatever we receive receive in tax dollars, we have to match with local dollars to 100% degree. United Way dollars really shows a commitment from the community, that the community is committed to the programming and to the services, and that sends a really big message to federal and state governments. It's also incredibly vital just because especially our homeless shelter cannot survive without those dollars.
Alcohol and Drug Abuse Services is the SCA for Cameron, Elk, and McKean. We provide prevention, outpatient treatment. We have Maple Manor, which is our inpatient facility.
We are helping children that may be struggling in school, missing too much school, or may be using or may not be using and need that education. We also provide alternative activities to reduce the risk of substance abuse.
The common issue for all of our areas, not just for McKean County, is that kids are using alcohol as a primary substance. Our secondary issue that we've identified is that they're vaping, often vaping marijuana.
When I go into the schools and do the Too Good for Drugs program, by the end of that class period, you have students come up to you and they want more information or how to solve a problem at home.
A little kid, he was probably 10 years old, they were asking all of the kids to share with their parents like one thing that they gained from the program, and he said now he knows that more people in the community care about him than just his parents, and he can go to them for help. And that's what we're here, that's what we're doing. We would not be able to do these things if it weren't for the help that we get from the United Way.
Destinations Bradford began in 2011. The staple program was the food pantry. That's kind of how everything started. From there were other programs added to it, the fuel card assistance program, homeless assistance program, and we also are the stewards of the emergency pharmaceutical assistance program for the United Methodist Church cluster. Anybody comes in, they're given a self-declaration form. They, tell us what they have as far as an income, people in the household. At the food pantry, it's once a month. For our homeless assistance program, we can help an individual 2 times per year per person, 3 times in a lifetime. And the emergency fuel is 2 times per person per year. We had an elderly woman actually who during the first shutdown hadn't gotten out and gotten any food or anything for a couple of weeks, but felt like she'd be burdening anybody to ask for help. And as soon as we learned of it, we were able to band together with the Helping Bradford During Coronavirus group, and all of us were able to make sure that she got food, everything that she needed, and was taken care of. Since 2013, the United Way has been helping fund Destinations Bradford. At least their food pantry program. It's well over a couple thousand that we end up serving in a year, and in a community that has around 8,000 people in a population, that means we're serving roughly about a quarter of the population of Bradford. There is definitely a great need around here. People need the services that we offer, and I'm praying for the United Way and for everybody that's really feeling this right now.
I am Mary Grace Collier Kistler, and I am the director of the S.W. Smith Memorial Public Library in Port Allegany, Pennsylvania. We have a brand new building, but the library has been in Port Allegany since 1930. The United Way of Bradford gives us money for our Story Hour program, so we call it our Story Hour grant. We run the Story Hour program 3 times a year for 6 weeks at a time for children and their adults. Sometimes it's not their parents who bring them, sometimes it's their grandparents or a babysitter. And it really is an early childhood program unlike any other that's offered in Port Allegany. Participants come in for an hour. There are stations. Everybody can go to a reading station, and then they can go to an arts and crafts station, and we generally have a music and movement station. Actually, the United Way pays for performers for Story Hour, and right now we can't see them in person, but many of them did video performances, and so they're all up on our webpage. We've had children come in who said, "I'm hungry. I haven't had anything to eat in 2 days," and so we, find something for them. Last year in 2019, we handed out over 1,000 snacks. When school is out, a lot of children miss that free breakfast and lunch program during June 2020, and we only have the library to go window open. Through that window, we still handed out 345 snacks to children. And it's really important to keep that going.
I think people need to realize they will benefit directly from donating to United Way. Everyone's got a child, a family member, a grandchild, in some way, shape, or form will get some benefit from United Way.
People do think that the money is just going to go to Bradford, but that's absolutely not true. We have our own Port Allegany campaign, which means the money stays in Port Allegany.
If you take into account the other 20 agencies that receive United Way dollars, your dollars go so much further.
When there is a crisis or there is an issue, there's a problem, people are willing to come together and find a solution.
The community really has a unique way of banding together during tough times. We continue to see it outside of the pandemic, and I think that's something really unique about our community.
Believe in tomorrow by pledging today.
Believe it. Tomorrow by pledging today. Yeah!
Believe in tomorrow.
By pledging today.